A lot of people have a strong opinion about what I'm about to break down right now, but that's what the fight doctor does. He breaks down the facts, he brings them to the table, and he delivers them to you. But this is about the Manny Pacquiao and the Floyd Money Mayweather fight that's anticipated. And it's been anticipated for some time now. But what's going on right now in the sport is that Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Money Mayweather were on destination to meet back in 2009, as far back as 2009, and even it was talks of that in late 2008, especially after Manny Pacquiao got to the point where he was destroying welterweights like Oscar De La Hoya, and he was the first and only other person to proclaim the pound-for-pound ranking when Floyd Money Mayweather was retired in that little short stint, and he came back and destroyed Marquez, and that was one of the things that people decided to hang their hats on when it comes down to it. Well, as I always say at the end of my shows, we break the fight world down round by round. We will break these things down in round increments, so you will hear a bell. You'll hear a bell during these commentations. Round one, Floyd Mayweather against not Marcos Chino Maidana, but just finished fighting with Marcos Chino Maidana. 24 rounds. What I want to make clear to people is prior to that, the only other time Floyd Money Mayweather had been hurt in a fight was against Shane Mosley. He'd been touched before, but not multiple times. Didn't suffer any long-term damage. But a couple of things was apparent the night he fought Chino Maidana the first time, is that he was able to be hit with punches that he knew was coming, and fights are tricky that way. Sometimes you watch the tape and you know that it's coming, and you still can't anticipate the fact that it's going to come at an angle that it's hard to defend against, even though you see it coming. When we train fighters, that's one of the things that you have to duly note, is all the punches won't be straight. So when we do slips, bob and weaves, catching, there's nothing to defend against the top of the head shots, and that is the mallet punch. And that's what Marcos Chino Maidana mastered. And from there he'd come up with an uppercut to the chin, and he tried to take your chin directly up into your brain, leaving no prisoners. Marcos Chino Maidana is a hard obstacle to overcome. The fact that Floyd Mayweather was in there for 24 rounds with him, even though he won in a decisive fashion the second time and really looked good in the first one, in the second half of the fight, he did take a physical beatdown in certain areas in that fight. He was winning the rounds, but it's just like winning a round and then getting hit over by an 18-wheeler truck. Yeah, you won the round, but you took some physical damage with you into the future. The second fight, in the third round at the end, he was countered with a straight right hand. That straight right hand at the end of the round was something that Floyd wasn't used to being hit with straight on. He used to get hit with a jab every once in a while. Cotto exposed that. De La Hoya exposed that in the early part of their fight, but a straight right hand, he's not used to being countered. So he got countered over a counter. This punch, even Floyd Money Mayweather expressed that that fight and that punch gave him problems. It hurt him. It's a fight. You're supposed to feel damage. Some people aren't cut out for damage. Once that fight began, you knew that Floyd was going to get in and out of any situation, but Marcos put him in a position to hurt him. And when he did, it was a neurological situation, because if you watch, Floyd's shoulder went up. See, I'm from the medical field as well. The fight doctor. That's round one. The neurological damage was in place. The knots, they heal. Neurological damage is like a concussion. That doesn't just go away. Floyd's 37 years old. I'm one of the biggest Floyd Mayweather supporters. I support him because what he does in the sport of boxing, what he does for people that they do not really give him credit for. And I also am a fan, and I have a friend that's a very close friend to Manny Pacquiao, and he's one of my fighters. And so I have love for that camp as well. because anyone connected always has love coming from the fight world. Whenever you support someone and you know what they do for a living, you got to give them respect, because the fight game is not easy. That's near one. Back in 2009, 2010, round two, 2010, 2011, 2012, Floyd had not suffered damage. 2014, damage had been inflicted upon him. Now they're playing on more of an even playing field. So round two is about Manny. Manny Pacquiao has one solid thing that's going in his favor. And then another thing, I'm going to segue into that. Manny Pacquiao has won his last couple of fights. They weren't even close. He demolished the people that they put in front of him to get his face back from the Marquez fight. He got knocked out. And the first thing that I said, and it's on the record, is that Manny Pacquiao would get better, because he would learn to stop going in there with reckless abandonment. His focus at that point was to get better and not be hit with straight shots coming in. And what shot did he get hit and knocked out with? He got knocked out with a straight right hand. Leaned into it and didn't see it coming. So now it gave him just cause to learn how to adapt and adjust and not be hit with that shot. He goes in, he southpaw, he feints, and then he steps now. And he throw that straight down the pipe, his, and come on the hook, boom, and do the Manny Pacquiao thing. We saw it against the Chris Algieri fight. The first thing I thought was the playing field is becoming even right now. Floyd Money Mayweather has taken a notch down. And I'm not saying his skill set has dropped. He's just taking damage now. And his speed in the trenches, not his come out fresh speed or when he got the spacing, he's still Floyd. But in the trenches, when the fight is in the phone booth and they're exhausted, those punches ain't coming off with the same level of velocity and snap, because you're fighting tougher fighters and you're fighting tougher fights. Marcos Maidana pulled something out of Floyd, 30 seconds left. Pulled something out of Floyd that most fighters can't pull out of Floyd. He pressed him. He showed him that he can throw punches from angles that he can't see. So does Manny Pacquiao. The difference is Maidana is a lot slower than Manny Pacquiao. He's not quicker of feet or quicker of foot. So now Floyd has that to worry about. Punches coming from angles that you don't see. He knew Marcos was throwing those punches from overhead. Round three, we're going to break into how they truly match up. The matchup between Floyd Money Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, it was here. And it was clearly before. Even though the Manny Pacquiao fans thought that Manny would win, Manny couldn't beat him before technically because he got hit with too many straight shots. Now that he's been knocked out, his skill set has elevated. So now they match up evenly. And if anything, the offensive onslaught of Manny Pacquiao gives him the nod. Floyd will have to fight in areas of fights that he's not used to fighting in. And the reason why he'll have to do that, this isn't me just talking. This is me as if I'm in the corner or in a training camp telling him, you have to fight in trenches, because Manny Pacquiao is not going to stop coming in there behind a jab, being stopped by just a jab. He's ready to counter a jab. He's ready to counter a right hand. Things that would have worked 2 years ago won't work today. Now you have to dig down and you have to become invested and you have to bite down on your mouthpiece, mono, hashtagging mono, and decide, am I willing to suffer brain damage in a fight with this guy because the punches are coming faster, they're coming quicker, and there's a distinct difference between speed, which is fast, and quickness. Speed is, that's fast. Quickness is lateral, forward to back. It's the instant motion and the explosion of one brass movement. Speed and fast is how fast your clock going in the direction of what you're doing. Manny Pacquiao was faster than Floyd. He relays off his punches like a machine gun. Floyd throws hooks like a machete. And he's quick, and the quickness doesn't leave as fast as your speed does, because the speed eventually slows down. But the quickness is a neurological function of the brain. And it consistently stays sharp because he doesn't impound himself with drugs and alcohol and things that wear you down. But McDonald's will get you sooner or later. But quick is mind. Speed is physical. And Floyd is the quickest of mind. That's one nod for Floyd Manny Mayweather. So those who are watching this right now, and you're a Manny fan, you're like, yeah, say something else about Manny. Well, I'm going to say something else about Manny right now. Manny Pacquiao, the angles that he throws the punches will be more of a problem now, because Floyd showed that he can be hit with shots even if he knows they're coming. Marco's mallet punch, Floyd knew that was coming. He did the breakdown before the fight. 30 seconds remaining in this round. But he still couldn't totally stop it because it's coming from the top. Now Manny throws that right, he might throw that hook, but he throws that shot invisible. And just like you saw it come out of nowhere on the camera, and this is a camera. When you're in the ring, I put it to you like this. It's just like if you're driving down the highway. It's 2 seconds left in this round. I'm sitting on my stool. In between rounds, I'll just give you a just to know. When Floyd Money Mayweather saw those punches coming when Marcos Maidana couldn't adapt, fighters stand outside the ring and they watch him on TV. They watch Manny on TV. You cannot understand what these fighters are seeing from watching them on TV. That's why guys like Chris Algieri and Marcos Maidana thought that they could beat Floyd, and they thought that they could beat Manny because they were watching things outside the ring. I don't take anything away from those fighters. But one thing is different. When you're in that ring, imagine driving down the highway 45 miles an hour backwards, looking in your rearview mirror. That's different. Round 4. This is the difference in the fight. You can't look at tape and break a guy with that kind of talent down. You can't break a Floyd Money Mayweather down. You can't break a Manny Pacquiao down. You can't possibly do it by looking at film. So that's where the disadvantage is for both of those guys. They could look at the other people that they fought, but these guys are the superheroes of the fight world. And you know it because you're following them. And you know it because you're watching this video because of the name that's up there. Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao. That's the reason why you press click. So now we're at this point where we break them down, and who has the advantages at this point in their career. The edge will go to Manny Pacquiao because the speed of feet or the speed of foot, the hand speed, the awareness of being conscious of punches coming. He's not getting hit with the counter punches that Marquez hit him with because he's learned from that. These things are checks. The fight that would have been 70-30, 60-40, 45-55, however you wanted to give it to Floyd. And it's a lot of you that gave it to Floyd. The majority of the people said Floyd would win, but the fan base of Manny Pacquiao believed he would find a way to win because of speed. That wouldn't have been enough before, but that is damn enough now. So, what Floyd is moving forward with is he's been in a super tough fight, 24 rounds with Marcos Maidana. But the questions are, did it take something from him? Manny's not moving forward with questions. So Floyd fans, note this. I'm one of the biggest Floyd supporters. You can go down to my channel and you can see me doing demonstrations with Floyd's fights and breaking Floyd's style down in any form or fashion. And you know I support Floyd Mayweather, but that's not here. I'm not biased when it comes to matching fighters up. Floyd Mayweather has problems. How do you fix these problems? I got 30 seconds left for this round. I gotta put a flurry on him in order to minimize those bumblebees coming at you. Because when Manny Pacquiao start coming with those bumblebees, you gotta get ready. He needs Zab Judah in camp. He needs Marcus Chop Chop Corley. And he needs Latimer. Those three fighters, he needs to do 6 rounds, 2 rounds apiece with each one of those guys, no headgear, starting now, before he even thinks about going to a training camp. Because he might need to do that twice, because he needs to adapt himself to the kind of speed that he'll be dealing with, the intestinal fortitude, and to make sure he's aware on his pugilistic defense and the output that he'll have to go through now. He got to put out. You can't keep Manny off with a jab. You can't keep him off with just a straight right hand. Manny Pacquiao knows one speed, and that's fast forward. This is the Fight Doctor. And I thank you guys for watching. And you're watching Master Boxing. And this is where we break the fight world down, baby. Round by round. Stay tuned. I'm going to do a breakdown of the fight, and you're going to see it as a visual. And it's going to be a super breakdown of the fight. Thanks again. This is the Fight Doctor, the real Fight Doctor. I'll holler at you boys later. Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Money Mayweather coming to you. Just watch the boxing. Be boxing. Watch those DVDs, those instructional DVDs, how to get conditioned like a fighter, how to train and do moves and execute offense and defensive onslaughts like a real fighter. This is the Fight Doctor. Go down and go to their website and get those joints for yourself. It's nothing like being in shape as the fight is approaching. Peace.